Good morning. I'm Thomas Buchanan. I'm still on maintenance. This is maintenance week 20. Today is the 18th of January. It's Thursday. The week is almost done. And, you know, when you're right, you're right. I said yesterday I wouldn't be surprised to retest 220. I was at 219, bouncing around 219. Today, I'm at 220.6. Um, I only know that because I've been water fasting off and on for 4 years. I know that my body wants to retest every time I lose 4 to 5 pounds. I did it at 230. I did it at 225. Now I'm doing it at 220. And that's okay as long as I retest 220 and I don't know, hit 220 and a quarter, 220 and a half. But I want to make sure I drop back down to 219. So, um, not unexpected at all. And trust me, you will get to the point where you can almost predict what your body is going to do. Um, One thing, side note for me particularly, that I've noticed, if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, and many of you have, you know that when I exceed 225, my sleep apnea kicks in. My set point has changed, and I have no clue why or how, but it used to be 225. Uh, Now I am finding that if I exceed 220, 221, my sleep apnea kicks in. So it's one more reason to continue to lose weight. I mean, you know, when you're fat, as many of you are, and when you're obese, as 3 out of 4 of you are, you stop breathing at night. I'm still fascinated by the fact that a human being can stop breathing for up to 2 minutes and not die. I mean, I find that fascinating. When I first heard of something called sleep apnea, it blew me away. I just, you know, my reaction was, a human being that is alive cannot stop breathing for 1 to 2 minutes without dying. It just goes to show you sometimes I'm wrong. I was clearly wrong in that situation. And I had a viewer contact me, and he said, "Can you describe emotional eating versus hunger eating?" And oh yes, I can. I've got a good response to that. So listen up. Physical eating or hunger eating can be defined in several different ways. First of all, it builds gradually. Okay. It's not an instantaneous, I've got to eat a pint of ice cream. I've got to have that candy bar. It builds ever so gradually. It strikes below the neck. And what I mean by that is your stomach growls. Have you ever been in a meeting or even at home watching TV and your stomach growls at you. Your body is telling you it's hungry. How do you know when it's physical hunger? Well, your body growls, so you feed it food, right? And the growling goes away. The hunger goes away because you took a few bites of food. That's physical hunger. That's eating when you're hungry. Forget what time it is. That's eating for the right reasons, particularly if you're on maintenance. You know, you've been on a water fast, you've lost the weight, and now you're trying to maintain that range. A lot of people, most people, they eat because, well, they just got out of bed, it's breakfast, it's time to eat. You know, you've got to start the day off with a good breakfast, whether you're hungry or not, to get you through the day. That's wrong. If you're not hungry, don't eat breakfast. Or you go to work, it's 12 o'clock. It's time for lunch. What do you do at lunch? You eat. You don't read a book. You eat. Why? Because your employer tells you it's time for lunch. You don't have to be hungry, but you eat. You eat because everyone else is eating. That's called social eating. You don't eat because you're hungry. Your stomach's not growling at you. You know, it's not a gradual buildup of, I think I'm hungry. It's, well, the clock says it's noon, it's lunchtime, I eat. Don't do that. Absolutely do not do that. So, if that's physical hunger, what is emotional hunger? Well, first of all, it's above the neck. Second of all, it develops suddenly. Something triggers stress in you. And how do obviously, you know the answer to this. How do we reward ourselves? How do we comfort ourselves? We do it with food. So if you had a stressful drive into work this morning, you went to the snack machine and you got a snack. Or someone brought in donuts and you went and got a couple donuts because you're stressed because of the commute into work. It's above the neck. What do I mean by that? Well, I've got a taste for ice cream. I just really want a bowl of ice cream. That's above the neck. That's I'm not really hungry. I've got an urge for ice cream. I've got to satisfy that urge. Don't do it. That's emotional eating. That's bad behavior. You must stop it. Put a stop to it. And then when you eat that gallon of ice cream, or in my case, and still to this day, I have to watch myself, when you eat that full bag of potato chips, or you eat those 12 cookies, because why? Because they taste so good. I'm in the mood for cookies, so I'm going to eat 6 cookies. Or I'm going to eat 8 donuts. I'm in the mood for some donuts. What happens? Let's say I went out to, I don't know, I haven't been to a donut store in years. I don't even know if Krispy Kreme is still around or what donut places there are. But let's say I went and bought 6 donuts. I sat down and I ate 6 donuts because I deserve 6 donuts. What kicks in? What kicks in when I walk over to the refrigerator and I eat that gallon of vanilla ice cream? I love vanilla over chocolate. Guilt. I feel guilty for eating all of those cookies. I feel guilty for eating all of those potato chips. I feel guilty for eating all of that ice cream. I feel shame. I shouldn't have done it. I've said on my channel many times, you and I are adults. We're not kids. We're not 10-year-olds. Sometimes we act as if we are. We have no self control. Adults don't have self control. I mean, come on, agree with me. Put a bag of potato chips in front of me. Hell, forget water fasting and maintenance and losing. I'm going to consume that bag of potato chips. I love potato chips. And then comes the guilt. I shouldn't have done it. The shame. What was I thinking? And then comes the negative self talk. I'm such an idiot for doing that. I mean, do you see how it all works together? So, for those of you on maintenance like I am, let me challenge you. Because those of you on maintenance, you're eating real food on a daily basis. But let me issue you this challenge. Before you take your next bite of food, ask yourself one simple single question. Is this physical hunger? Am I honest to God hungry? Or am I emotionally eating? Am I eating because I'm happy? I'm sad. Someone I know passed away. I'm grieving. I had a stressful drive home. So ask yourself that question. Are you eating because you're hungry? Or are you eating because you're stressed? If you implement that on a daily basis, for those of you on maintenance, it will assist you in maintaining that weight range that you're trying to maintain. I mean, food is good for you. You've got to watch the quantity. You've got to watch when you eat. Most importantly, you've got to watch why you eat. Are you eating because you're hungry, or are you eating because you're stressed? I'm not anti-food. We need liquids and food to keep us alive. We just all need to learn how to eat. So that's a long answer to your short question, but uh, I've given much thought to that question. I've had that own I've had that question in my own mind several times. Again, in closing, let me say, are you eating because you're hungry, or are you eating because you're stressed? Why are you eating? Because if you're on maintenance and you're eating because you're hungry, that's a good thing. If you're on maintenance and you're eating because you're stressed, then go find another method to calm down. Go find another method to get rid of the stress. Stop using food, comfort food in particular, to alleviate your stress that you have in your lives. Think about what I've said. I'm right on this point. And I needed to hear that just as you needed to hear that. Now, I still predict for my own self, I predict I'll be in the 219s by next Monday. And yes, I did say yesterday or a couple of videos ago, uh, my my short-term weight goal is 215. A little bit longer weight goal for me in particular is 210 by the first week in April. And then by the first week in July, I want to be in the 198 to 200 range. So I'm planning on trying to lose another 10 pounds. And then I'm done. I will either stay on maintenance, or um, if I don't hit 210, or I see I'm not going to hit 210 by the first week in April, let's say it's the second week in March and I'm still hanging around 219, I'll flip and start a water fast with you. I'll join you, because I'm pretty passionate now about my goal of, I want to touch 215, but I want to drop on down to 210. And then, if my body allows, I'd like to, by Independence Day, July 4th, touch 198 to 200. So stay tuned, see if I do it. I hope that, I say this is a teaching learning channel. I'm still learning after uh, 4+ years of water fasting and maintenance. I want to impart to you the knowledge I've gained over 4 years in doing water fasting. It's not for everybody. If water fasting is not for you, move on. Go on to the next YouTube channel. It's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But I have people that follow me around the world. They know I shoot straight with them. I don't lie. You know, they've watched me drop from a fatty 315 pounds. I was excessively obese down to my current weight. And you're going to watch me drop on down and lose those last 20 pounds. It's not going to happen overnight. I may hit a plateau. I may bounce up a pound or two, but ultimately I'll hit my goal. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your questions, your comments. I appreciate the haters out there. That's fine. I'm 68 years old. I've got thick skin. Uh, you don't bother me at all. You really don't. But for those of you new folks on water fast, on your water fast, stick with it. You're worth it. I mean, every year you've made the New Year's resolution to lose weight. Well, this year, let's lose the weight together. But more importantly, let's keep it off without the little prepackaged foods. Let's figure out a way for you to keep the weight off without buying special supplements, without working out at the gym for 3 hours a day. All of the normal things that you should be doing. Let's figure out a way together, and I'm showing you how to do it every day. Let's figure out a way together to maintain our weight, just as I've done for the past 20 weeks between 220 and 230. That was the viewer challenge. And let's do it without prescription meds. You don't need to pop a pill into your mouth once a day to lose weight. You're smarter than that. Stay healthy, stay happy, get out and have some fun today, and I'll see you tomorrow.